George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. February, of course, is the month that we celebrate Black history, and there are a number of events taking place at the Community Folk Arts Center. Kofi Antwi is the educational outreach specialist at the Community Folk Arts Center. And we're joined by Cee Divinity. He is the host of one of the shows that's taking place this month at CFAC. Let me start with you, Kofi. Tell me about all of the great things happening at Community Folk Arts Center. But first, remind us what Community Folk Arts Center is to the community.
All right. Good evening, George. Thank you for having me here on your show.
And good morning to you.
Good morning. You're right. Good morning. Inspiration for the nation, right?
Yes.
Yes. So whenever I think of CFAC or Community Folk Arts Center, the first thing that comes to my mind is it's a hub for African Americans, people that are part of the African diaspora. We not only support artists, we also amplify local artists that is looking to engage with their creative work. Community Folk Arts Center was established by Herbert T. Williams, a professor in the African American Studies Department, in collaboration with other Syracuse University faculties and students. So when I joined Community Folk Arts Center, I knew that I was joining this rich history of leadership. For example, having Dr. Tanisha Jackson as my colleague and also someone that supports my art. I look at Community Folk Arts Center as a home, second home for myself.
And you have a number of events coming up this month. One of those events is Blues on the Boulevard. And Cee Divinity, you're the host of the show. Tell me about Blues on the Boulevard, which is taking place on Saturday, February 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. It's got a pretty unique take on Syracuse history, particularly a cherished part of the community that pretty much no longer, well, the history of that was pretty much destroyed, but you'll say more about that.
Good day, beautiful people. Thank you, George, for having us on today. Appreciate you. Blues on the Boulevard is paying homage to the 15th Ward. Okay, this year we are focusing on that. We'd like to revive that spirit with that essence, especially with everything coming full circle with the highway coming down. So this year we really want to focus on the kind of we're giving a juke joint theme to it, kind of like that Sugar Shack vibe. We're really emphasizing Black joy here. We're kind of tired of focusing on the struggle all the time. We're here to celebrate us and to celebrate the Black joy, and with looking forward by paying respect to the past as well.
And so this is a great opportunity. So you said it's a juke joint kind of environment. You're going to be the host. So what's your role going to be?
So I'll be hosting. We got some poets coming through. I'm gathering up the local talent. We got the Brown Skin Band playing for us. So we got some other talented poets and acts and a couple of actors coming through for some monologues and things of that nature. So it's going to be a nice variety show here. And basically, we want you to come in and get your spirits lifted and feel good when you leave about where you come from, where you're at, and where we're going.
It's part of the work of the Black Artists Collective. Say something about that.
So, as the Black Artists Collective, we have all kind of events throughout the year. We have, our artist events. We also have, poetry events and theater shows that we do throughout the time. And for other artists out there that would like to come be a part of it, it's something to tie into.
Are you an actor, a singer? What's your?
Oh, sorry. I'm a poet, sir. I am.
Thank
a poet.
you. All right.
I do poetry nights throughout the year, so all over the city. So
you'll be spitting a few lines for us as well.
Got something for you. I definitely got.
But Kofi, this is an example of the kind of entertainment, the kind of programming. It's not just shows. It's a lot of things that will be happening at CFAC. Tell us more about what's happening at CFAC this month.
Thank you. So to start off, we have February 7th. We have Tony International, which will be the first concert or live musical concert for CFAC for 2025. We currently have Dr. Rochelle Royster's exhibition up here at CFAC. It is a fantastic exhibition. It's titled This Woman's Work. And with that exhibition, we have 4 dynamic workshops, right? I'll say it again. We have 4 dynamic workshops that are attached to it. We have a doll making workshop, which begins February 8th, which is a Saturday, 11 to 3. And Dr. Rochelle will be leading that workshop. And then we also have February 15th, we have the optical illusion painting, which is a creative exploration within the exhibition as well. And then we have the zines and Afrofuturism workshop, February 22nd. And that's led by one of our colleagues, one of our friends here in Syracuse, Evan Starling. And then March 1st will be the last portion of the workshop, and that's titled The Shibori Indigo Dye. And Dr. Rochelle will be leading that one as well. So the goal of these workshops is to create this visibility for the exhibition, but also to create this community work as well.
And it's all part of the happenings at the CFAC. So Blues on the Boulevard, same day as one of those workshops, as it turns out. But Blues on the Boulevard, 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are how much?
Tickets are.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Kofi.
Yeah, the tickets are $30, right? It's a great opportunity to see the talent that we have here in Syracuse. Not only do we have Syracuse acts, but we also have acts that are coming from different locations of the state.
For this particular day?
Yes. So I know there is a difference between the ticket price for adults and then also for the children. CJ, I'll throw that back to you so I don't misstep that as well.
Yes, so we're doing $30 for adults, and then children 12 and under. Well, excuse me, I wouldn't say 12. We're not going too young, but up to 12, $15.
Right.
Yeah. So we encourage you to bring your middle school age children and up.
And it's a little higher price at the door, so you're encouraged to get your tickets in advance, right? Through one of the various sites, and you can go to CFAC. What's the CFAC Syracuse.org?
Yes.
CFAC.
And you'll be able to purchase the tickets there. I know we'll also have it on Eventbrite. We'll make sure to have that information attached to this show as well. So we'll have that link for the fans and those who are viewing this particular episode.
Yeah, and I'm interested, the Black Artists Collective, and why they chose the 15th Ward as a theme and a juke joint themed show. Is it to recapture some of the history that has been lost with the 81 and not upstate Hutchings and all of that coming through the community?
Yes, sir. This is indeed the time to do this, especially with the highway coming down, and we want to bring that spirit back, the spirit that was unfortunately taken from the neighborhoods, that caused a lot of division,
and disruption, quite frankly, right?
Yes, sir.
And who would have thought that? I remember Van Robinson had this idea of having the highway come down, and now here we are, all these years later. It's actually going to happen, and so it's interesting, right? Because all of the work is happening all around, but that part, the last part, obviously, be very interesting when that actually begins to happen. But the work is going on, and it's also part of the history of this community. All right, so mark your calendars for a series of events happening at the CFAC. In particular, one event that we're talking about now is at February 22nd, 6 o'clock at the CFAC, 805 East Genesee Street is the address, right there on the corner of East Genesee Street and Foreman Street, I believe, is the name of the street. And get your tickets on the Eventbrite or CFACSyracuse.org for more information. Kofi and Cee, anything else we need to know?
I would like to add about Black Artists Collective, just to make sure that everyone that's viewing has an idea of what we do as artists and people in the community. Our vision is advocacy, intervention, and interruption. So like listening to what the conversation the two of you were having about the I-81 and noticing the displacement of Black and brown people of our community, I think it's the job or the task of the artists to also, discover or rediscover who we are as people, to kind of create that community, right? Because like CJ stated, we want to bring the joy, but we also want to highlight the history of the 15th
Yes.
Ward.
I just want to give you guys an opportunity to, and you're a poet as well,
Yes, I am.
Kofi.
Mhm.
I just want you guys to give me something in this moment in time, right? You know, we have a new president, and the first, are we in the first week or the second week? Yeah, the second week, and what's happening is as advertised. No one's surprised about that. How critical do you think, each of you give me an answer to this, and Kofi, you hinted at this. How important will your voices and all of our voices, but in particular the artist's voice at this moment of time? Because when we think about other times in history, our recollection is through the artists of the time, right? When we think of Harlem Renaissance, when we think of all of the periods in history, one of the ways that we understand that history is through what the art said at that time. What obligation or responsibility do either of you feel in this moment, or what do you feel about this moment in time and the obligation or responsibility of artists?
We have a great obligation. I mean, it's 100 years later. We're having our own Renaissance again, and we have a huge poetry community that's been coming alive within the past 5 years, with a lot of poetry events throughout the city and a lot of people talking about their growth and experiences within this own city. You got to think about that highway, especially for a lot of kids on the south side. It cut off their whole viewing of a beautiful university and made it seem like that university was so far. And that transpired in so many other ways where, you know, just reaching a certain goal and a certain level in life felt so far for these people. And then you got that, you know, with the highway and the division between the neighborhoods and the gangs and the violence that led to a lot of, you know, misunderstandings, you know what I mean? So we want to bring and connect our community back together.
I agree with CJ 100%, right? Because when we think of the artist, what role do we play in the community? We're not only leaders, but we're thought-provoking. We are used to cause, I don't want to say division, but more so to interrupt what's like the status quo, right? So if a young person is not educated about the 15th Ward or about the rich history we have in our Black History Month, or our just, you know, our local community, it's up to us to educate them, right? And I think I take that seriously because I dedicate my career towards that, right? I'm educating young and Black and brown people here at CFAC with the Creative Arts Academy. So I get to see these kids come in when they're 8, 9 years old, right? And they're sometimes their ideas of a dream is limited because they see what's going on in their community, right? So I think it's up to us to allow them or empower them to dream.
All right. You could also dream with the Community Folk Arts Center. One of their performances during the month of February 22nd, 6 to 9, Blues on the Boulevard. It is a look at the 15th Ward in the Cuse, Blues on the Boulevard, Saturday, February 22nd, 6 to 9 p.m. Get your tickets from CFAC or on Eventbrite. Cee Divinity is the host of the show. We'll hear a little bit from him and Kofi Antwi as well. We'll hear from Kofi as well, I'm sure. And it's going to be a great event. Shout out to the Black Artists Collective and the work that they are doing in this community. And we wish you both well. George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. And did you have something that you wanted to say, Cee?
Yes, we encourage people to come in that juke joint vibe and juke joint wear. You know, it's not mandatory, but we encourage it, you know.
Juke joint wear. And I ain't gonna say nothing about your shirt, but I see you, brother. I see you. for
Total accident.
For our radio audience, his shirt says, "Shut up, comma, Karen." Y'all can interpret that all the ways y'all want to. February 22nd, CFAC, George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, 6 to 9 p.m., CFACSyracuse.org, Eventbrite as well. Inspiration for the Nation. Thank you, Kofi. Thank you, Cee.
Thank you, sir.